Hey, it is 9 a.m. here in Chicago, and I am here to welcome you to the Tao of the Day. Tao of the Day, Tao of the Day. What do you have to say? I don't know. I'm making rhymes and doing things. Having a nice morning, and would love to have you guys come on if you have a moment and pick a number between 1 and 81 for the Tao of the Day. So, Tao of the Day, for those of you who don't know, the Tao Te Ching is an ancient text written by Lao Tzu back in 600 BC, and it concerns 81 chapters of how to live life reasonably. So, Taoism has two kind of core components. There are two core ways of looking at Taoism. There's the philosophical Tao, which is the core of the Tao Te Ching, and then there is the Taoism, the religion. We do not deal with the religion of Taoism at all. We are only dealing with the ideas that are present in Lao Tzu's Tao Te Ching. And we look at those from where we are today. So if you come up and pick a number, what's going to happen is we're going to look at how that verse relates to your life. Many of you who have followed Tao of the Day know that when we talk about government, we're talking about all sorts of governing, right? Like your body, you govern your body, or you govern your family, you govern your neighborhood, or whatever, like being a leader in your circle. When we talk about the universe, we also talk about, the infinitely large as well as the infinitely tiny. Male and female. Male relates to the structure of things, while female relates to the space that structure surrounds or envelops or permits. So when you have a structure, i.e. the universe, everything within the universe, all the space within the universe can be used by other structures like planets. And then that planet can house other structures like communities, and those can hold structures as individuals, and those individuals can hold structures like cells. And so as it goes down, there is constantly this birth and rebirth of the masculine and feminine, and we look at that as, like I said, masculine structure, feminine space, right? There is force and yield, and these are the two things that we look at. So when we come across those terms, we'll know a little bit more about how to address the verse. I am going to pick a number. I don't know what number I want to pick, and so if anyone wants to come up, you can please do so, and I will read your number. In lieu of anybody stepping up, I am going to pick 63. 63 is the number that I'm picking today. And I take a note just so I don't forget. Just in case anybody wants to come on, I can always talk about this one a little later. Here we are, 63. Act without doing, work without effort. Oh, Catherine. We are going to pause on 63, and we're going to look at Catherine's Tao for today. What do you got there, love?
Carol picked 15.
15. Off we go to 15. Carol, good morning. Hope you're doing well.
She's organizing the puppy dogs.
Okay. The ancient masters were profound and subtle. Their wisdom was unfathomable. There is no way to describe it. All we can describe is their appearance. They were careful as someone crossing over an ice-overed stream. Alert as a warrior in enemy territory, courteous as a guest, fluid as melting ice, shapeable as a block of wood, receptive as a valley, clear as a glass of water. What's so funny?
Guest made me laugh.
Oh, okay.
Due to another conversation I've had with you.
Courteous as a guest. I love that. Yes.
Yes.
Do you have the patience to wait till your mud settles and the water is clear?
Sorry, I'm laughing again just because I feel like this is so resonant with another conversation.
Yes. Can you remain unmoving till the right action arises by itself? The master doesn't seek fulfillment. and not seeking, not expecting. She is present and can welcome all things.
Okay, so I have to say something
Yes.
to the audience and whoever listens to this later. Those who are intuitive, those who pull oracle cards or, anything like that. In this setting of Tao of the Day, it is exactly the same as pulling an oracle card in my experience.
Mine as well. Yes.
Yeah. And so I just want to preface with that. And the reason I laughed a little bit is because this Tao so much resonates with recent conversations I've had and topics, and it's like just it makes me laugh when things are that exact because I like to be in a state of joy. So there you go.
Yeah. This is almost on the nose for you this morning.
I know, and Carol picked it. I didn't, although I did just update her on all the exciting things in our lives.
Yes, and you and Carol are intertwined. Let's like you guys
That's
are
right.
you guys are you guys are one. All right, so we do know that this is a little on the nose. Let's go ahead and start going through this line by line because it is a little long. Julie, I love your love. Thank you so
Yes,
much.
Julie.
Just want to say yes, and I have like I just kind of glanced at my audience list, and I have some buddies on here. I want to shout out to Kelly and Julie and so many people that like have been supporters of Tao of the Day. So the ancient masters were profound and subtle. Their wisdom was unfathomable.
Yeah, as for me, that is, things can be in the simplest form, but have a such a depth to it as you absorb yourself in it, you realize how deep it really, really is. It doesn't always have to be presented as the depth. The depth is something you begin to absorb yourself in. And so when you listen to the Tao, there's more than just what's written on the page.
Yes, and when you start talking about like things that are profound, if you do that in a way in which you're pretending to be or you're trying to make it profound, you lose that subtlety.
True. That's very, very true. And that happens a lot because we feel like we have to get get it all out.
Yeah,
And
we need to spice it up. We need to make sure
yeah.
that you see how profound I am. But
Yeah.
when you can present it in a subtle way, that profoundness has a way of speaking for itself.
And not only that, I would say in this, I think this is going to lead into it, but also the profoundness for me is different than the profoundness for you as
Yeah.
the person receiving.
Yes. Well, yes, and I think the profoundness changes from person to person, and we're always both receiving and giving. Like even if we're listening, we are
Yes.
giving our attention, and our attention to that kind of entangles us with the content more than the person.
Yes. All right. Get me into the next one.
There is no way to describe it. All we can describe is their appearance.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. I mean, that's like when I do my quick little intuitive stuff on here and I just give you a symbol. I can just describe to you what I see. It's
Hmm.
what it means to you. What that meaning is what that's supposed to be. I can't interpret it fully because I have my own perspective. It's what it lands with you. Like I said cotton candy to a gal the other day and she was like, "Oh, I totally know what it means." I'm like, "I don't know, it's just county fair treat to me, but whatever."
Yeah.
you know?
And that's it's interesting because the opposite here is true. There's no way to understand it. All we can understand is their appearance. And then as we kind of lay into that, like the deeper profoundness of it comes in, but because we can't explain it, because we can't describe it, we also we can't put it into words. It's deeper than that. It is more
Right.
than that.
Right. Yeah. I mean, cotton.
Okay,
Where do you go with that?
cotton candy. Who
Yeah.
knows?
Yeah.
Like pink, blue, green.
I know.
All they. What was that?
Yeah, it was pink, by the way.
Oh, okay. Um, they were so here we go into what they were. And this is the masters we're talking about. They were careful as someone crossing over an iced over stream, iced over stream. Alert as a warrior in enemy territory, courteous as a guest, fluid as melting ice, shapeable as a block of wood, receptive as a valley, clear as a glass of water.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't like, so all of these things is like by being, like all of these things are describing the way that they were, right? They were careful, they were alert, they were courteous, they were fluid, shapeable, receptive, and clear.
Yeah.
Can we, the next one, I mean, I believe it does talk about, can you remain unmoving? Yeah. Can you remain unmoving till the right action arises by itself?
Ooh,
See,
what does
this is,
that sound like when I talk about intuition?
that's right. And so what's interesting here is they're saying that the masters were careful, alert, courteous, fluid, shapeable, receptive, and clear.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next two sentences are like, this is what they were. They were able to do all of these things. Do you have the patience to wait till your mud settles and the water is clear? Can you remain unmoving till the right action arises by itself? They did all of these things by just like there's an assumption here. There's an assumption I may be making that they were able to achieve all of that by remaining still.
Yeah. And I think of it as because there's the water and the clarity of, in the flow of the river, a boulder comes in your way, that act upon that. That is when you need to just pivot a little bit. Are you
Right.
able to act upon, or do you just sit back and bump into it? Or do you freak out and try to start going upstream? Oh no, there's going to be white rafts.
Yeah.
Are you able to go, oh, all right, this is a message. I need to act. It's going to be a little rough. I need to pay a little bit more attention, but I have the ability to maneuver and pivot as I need to get around these to then get to the next little area of beautiful water. And that's what that's the images and pictures that I got from all of that.
Right. And that whole thing where they were careful, alert, courteous, all of that kind of stuff. All of that really just like each one of those you could look at and you can say, which one of these am I not? Am I not careful? Am I not alert? Am I not, like where in my life can I work on this? And we can all work on them all, of course.
Well,
Um,
yeah,
and
I was going to say the part of that also is that those things change all the time of what to work on purpose,
right.
so that you become more and more honed and highly tuned to recognize each one individually faster and faster and faster to get back into relaxing in your little boat and going, hey, I don't need to fight this. I just need to pivot when I need to. I just need to like chill. Being careful means just being aware. I'm okay. It's all right. Ride.
And as being, I'm a creative. I had like the art career and stuff back in the day. And one of the things that we as artists, and I think everybody does this, but artists, they're constantly, every time they make a new painting, they're coming at it as a new person. And so it's never good enough. It's always, you're always striving to move to that next place because you're honing your creative prowess and your creative mind. And so like you're always trying to reach that next level. And you're always behind your mind. Your mind in what you believe is clear or what you believe is fluid or shapeable is you are as shapeable as you can be. And when you get called to be more shapeable, let's say, you strive to move to that next place. But now it's like, can you be patient and wait till the water is clear? Can you remain unmoving until the right action arises by itself, while also striving, or also your mind is expanding all the time
Mm-hmm.
at what it means to be fluid, what it means to be courteous, what it means to be alert. And so that's always sort of in conversation. I always like to say that, more than hearing, because I don't know that we could be everything the universe wants of us. And I don't know that we can be everything that the universe can be everything that we want of it right now. It's always just a conversation back and forth. You know, it's like you want this and you move towards that. The universe wants something. And so it drops that boulder. And like now you're in this dance of like understanding, like, well, this is growth. This is what we're doing moving forward.
Understanding and coming back to who you really are. It's a journey.
Right.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's say it's a journey because it's always shifting, changing, whether roads change. You know, if you think of it as like a road trip, like there's all these different elements to it. So it is always changing for the different experiences and the different growths, and see what you can push yourself through, or what you don't really need to be afraid of. And like there's so many aspects to it. So this, I love it because I feel like it also explains that being quiet, allowing things to come to you, allowing things to happen, and knowing when to act upon it and acting upon it is expanding. We're taught that just being quiet, just sitting for a moment, stepping away is a bad thing. It's not being productive. And to me, it's about being 100 times more productive.
Yeah. You don't need 8 hours to get 3 hours of work done.
No.
You don't. And most people get less done than that a day.
Yes.
So you just utilize your time better. So it finishes up here, and this is a really great way of finishing it off, especially after you said what you did, which is the master doesn't seek fulfillment. Not seeking, not expecting, she is present and can welcome all things.
I mean, really. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like it's my own quote.
I think, like seeking, like this first line, the master doesn't seek fulfillment. That's like desire, and
Yeah.
so many times we talk about like letting go of desire so that you can be present. It's not that you don't want things, it's not that that doesn't happen, but you don't follow that desire. You open your heart to allow those things to be present. You can welcome all things
And
because
it,
you're not seeking.
yeah, and in the wanting, there can be underneath that an energy of not wanting
of
because
or
you're questioning
or
what you,
lack. Yeah.
yeah. And so if you can release that and let go and relax into it, and the expecting, I will say expect intuition to always be there. That doesn't mean demand it. It just means no, be confident, feel good about the fact that it's there. Well, it's always running in the background. But when we begin to expect, then we put these stories behind it, and that's what gets us into trouble.
Right. And it gets us like that expecting can really put up a wall. As soon as you expect something to happen, you put those blinders on, and you don't always know where to look.
Yeah. There's rules put to it in a way of how
Hmm.
things need to end up looking like. So I like
Yeah,
this. This is
it is. Thank you, Carol.
yeah. She's busy
Carol's always.
with puppy dogs again.
Yeah, well, the puppy dogs need some attention too.
Yeah. I love this.
I love you.
Love you
And
too.
thanks for all of the care that you take with me and all that we do.
Mwah. You're welcome. I'm very blessed to have you as my friend, and I see Julie and Kelly and everybody out there. What a great community we created. Love you.
We are bringing, I believe, I see the cat, even though I think, unless Mary Kay might have jumped. Nope, Mary is with me.
Hey,
Mary, how are you doing, dear?
Marty, how are you?
I'm doing well. You got a number for me today?
I okay. Uh, number 21.
21. Ready to drink. Let's see what we got
I'm
here.
drinking right now.
I bet. The master keeps her mind always at one with the Tao. That is what gives her her radiance. I think we've read this one, you and I, before. The Tao is ungraspable. How can her mind be at one with it? Because she doesn't cling to ideas. The Tao is dark and unfathomable. How can it make her radiant? Because she lets it. Since before time and space were, the Tao is. It is beyond is and is not. How do I know this is true? I look inside myself and see. What are your thoughts, Mary?
Well, you got to break it down because I
Well, we'll break it down.
broken yesterday and it was amazing.
Oh,
Like
well, good.
King or whatever his name is. What an amazing human being. He
Oh,
really broke me down
did he break you down? What happened?
and he built me up. And I
Oh,
know I'm going to do
that's
that.
good.
Yeah, you got to connect with the king.
The king. Oh yeah, we got majesties, queens, kings on here. They are everywhere.
I know. Well, don't ask.
I don't ask, don't tell.
No, I'm not even.
No. I want you to tell. Tell me. Tell me. Tell me. Okay, so here we go. The master keeps her mind always at one with the Tao. That is what keeps her. That's what gives her her radiance. So keeping your mind always at one with the Tao, always at one with the biggest concepts you have. Like if you're worried about where you're going to go for dinner, and you're worried about like where you're going to be in a year or what you're going to do. Yeah, those are small concepts. Those are little ideas. But if you can keep your mind at one with the biggest concept, at one with the Tao, or at one with God, or at one with Muhammad, I don't know, whatever it is floats your
I
boat,
keep
whatever
my
blows up your spirit.
Tao, and I'm learning about Tao. Thank you, Martine. And
Oh, absolutely.
by the way, I spoke about wisdom to two banks today.
To who now?
Two bankers.
To bankers.
Yes.
Oh, well, we're looking for
Yeah.
investment, I'm sure.
Well, they're amazing human beings. The problem was solved.
Oh,
Uh,
I'm telling you, amazing human beings can solve many problems.
yes.
They can
And
even solve problems that don't exist.
and one woman and another man just did it. Two different banks,
Oh, well,
totally separate, but they used almost the same words in a different version.
yeah. Well, they have different at being at different banks, I'm sure they have different like, lines of credit.
But no, it had nothing to do with credit.
No,
It
I'm just teasing.
not,
It's
no,
just
I don't believe in credit. I never did. So the master shines a light. He or she just stands there. Let me just speak because I'm looking at something.
Yeah, please.
Window, and I have a beautiful tree. It's very, very old, and all the leaves have fallen right now. There's nothing, it's bare. So many branches, but nothing ever breaks, and nothing, if this tree was to fall upon this house, it could damage multiple properties. I I'll invite you one day and you could see it.
I love old trees.
Yeah, me too. Everybody has tried to get this tree cut down,
Oh,
but it's not on my property. It's on a property of a woman that does homeschooling for her children. And wow, what books she has. She's never invited me in, and I never expect her. But when I saw those books, it just intrigued me. She's the most underestimated woman in this neighborhood, possibly.
yeah, maybe.
Yes.
Definitely, yeah. Well, she's probably definitely underestimated. And let's look at her for a second. She keeps her mind always with the Tao. That is what gives her radiance.
Yes. And she
And
just,
she's able to hold on to a tree that everybody wants to cut down.
oh, yeah, the next door neighbor, the neighbor next door, including my brother that's like facing this property. And it's naked bare and it's still. And when there's storm, nothing ever happens to this tree.
Yeah, we're made to bend, not break, right?
Yeah, it's bending. It's so
Yeah.
beautiful.
The
I'm gonna photo.
Tao is ungraspable. This like its ability to stand up to the winds and everything, ungraspable. How can her mind be at one with it? Because she doesn't cling to ideas. She doesn't cling to things. She allows them to come and go. She
Yeah,
allows them to be as they are without like if that tree were to come down,
the
she would be
whole
able to allow it.
it will be a nature's force. And believe me, I told you this before, 200, but I think it's more, 200 million-year-old rocks. And right now, I need to wear boots because my floor is freezing. It doesn't even work. You could put it up to 90 and has no effect. And I love that energy.
Yeah.
And
It's grounding, that's for sure.
yes, and several days ago, my mom, she's 94 years old, she came down and she said, "You don't know how blessed this house is. You don't know." And I said, "Yes, I do know, Ma." But she said, "There's also devils." I said, "Ma, don't talk about those."
I said, "Ma, don't talk about the
Yeah,
devils." You can talk about the devils. Like it's all created. Like either way. And the Tao is dark and
dark. Yeah,
unfathomable. Dark and unfathomable. How can she make her radiant? Because she lets it. Whether you have devils or whether you're blessed or blessed with devils, like it can make you radiant. Why? Because you let it. You don't define it. You don't go in there with an idea of what it's supposed to be. You let your mind be at one with it because she doesn't cling to ideas. She is
yeah,
able to allow the Tao to make her mind understand. And that's the beauty of like living, right? Like you could define ideas. You can define it by saying this is good and this is bad, or you can allow it to make you radiant and not cling to that idea, not cling to the idea that there is a devil and a saint, but there is energy, and that
negative
energy is
and positive,
beautiful. What was that?
negative and positive energies. It's forces in life.
Right, but those are defined, right? We
Yeah,
define negative and we define positive, and by not clinging to ideas, we're able to keep our mind at one with the Tao, and we're able to be radiant within that because we allow our mind to be at one with that which is not grounded in negative or positive. We're able to just kind of sit proper within the space of what is, rather than clinging to an idea of the negative or the positive.
yeah, we don't need to cling it. We could just let it go within this instant of a second, like wind, sun, rain, snow,
Yeah.
and it just goes away. It
And
comes,
it may come back and you can let
yeah,
it go again. And
yeah,
it can come back and you can let it go. Because the Tao is um always, right? The Tao has always been, and the Tao is within each of us, and there is no right or wrong, and there is no
no,
positive or negative, because since before time and space were, the Tao is. And I love this line in particular, because it breaks up the space and time, right? So before time and space where the Tao is, like once by utilizing the term is, we say it is now and it is always. And because time and space are just concepts that we agree to, we can stop and say, since before time and space were, the Tao is, it was always, and it will always be. And by using was and will, I I
it's past.
lock it into time, and that's
It's
unfortunate.
no, but in certain spirits, was in the past. It's gone. It's not coming back.
And that's the thing. That's not true. Like every spirit, every bit of energy is still here with the Tao, because we all return back to the Tao, and the Tao holds all of that.
Martin, talking about Tao, I'm gonna go off the topic now. You don't know what I found on ancient wisdom, what you're talking about.
I'm waiting.
I need to email it. I emailed it.
Oh yeah. Shoot me up. Hit me a
Hold on.
DM. Hit me up on a DM in
What's a DM?
Instagram.
Oh,
Well, no,
my
what's that?
Instagram is compromised. I can't delete. I can't do anything. My friend who's an IT guy, he said I'm gonna come and do it, as soon
Yeah,
as
go to my website. I have all my links. You just reach out to me anywhere.
I will.
LinkedIn,
Okay, I'll
website, whatever.
find a way.
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
to,
yeah. You
but
can reach out to me. I'm not gonna just like put it here, just out in the it's public, and
I
I
will.
and I post these.
I
So
will. I will.
everybody can find me, but I just want there to be
I'll
protocol
give
in there.
you my email.
Yeah, please send it out to me.
Mary Elizabeth
Oh, Mary Elizabeth, I'm writing it
with a
down.
Z.
Mary
Mary.
Eliz.
Yeah, Elizabeth.
Is it Eliz Abeth or Eb?
Oh God, you're telling a woman who speaks 7 languages. Her name has been changed throughout history. Like like Queen Elizabeth.
Okay,
I
I'll
swear
look
I'm
that.
not related to her.
Oh, okay. Mary Elizabeth at arroba
Wait, no, Mary Elizabeth 361 at gmail.com.
361
At
Gmail.
gmail.com.
Okay.
Just say
All right.
hi,
I'll shoot
and
you.
then
I'll
yeah,
shoot you an email in a little bit. All right. So then we wrap up. It is beyond the Tao. Is beyond is and is not. How do I know this is true? I look inside myself and see. See, when we look inside ourselves, we can see that which is eternal, and it's not our body.
no.
There's a concept, there's an idea, and I don't want to say concept. I know Dr. Rao has questioned me on that in the past, and I appreciate that
It's,
because it's not a concept, it's the reality. It's the
mhm.
reality of who we are, is that we are all connected. And I love that, we can, before wisdom was wisdom, I feel like I was able to connect to so many, many people just energetically. But now being able to do that physically in this way is really great as well, but it doesn't keep me from continuing to connect with people that I've never met energetically.
Mhm.
I keep when I meditate, when I sit, I connect with
Smile.
concepts and ideas. Go on.
I'm smiling right now.
Yeah, it's so beautiful because we can connect. And I think that there's this assumption that, oh, without social media we wouldn't be able to connect. But I think that we are connecting. We just have to stop and be quiet. Just
Hmm.
like it was saying in 15 with Catherine, like, can we sit and wait for the next action to arise? Can we wait for our dust to settle? Because if we can see much clearer and we can see the connections that we're making. So many of my portraits, I mean, when I do portrait work with my clients, which I'll sit and I'll do a portrait of them, and then we work through these 4 sessions to help them recover themselves. When I do a portrait, there have been many portraits I've done blindly, and in doing a portrait of someone that I've never seen, I've gotten likenesses and idiosyncrasies, and they've understood what was there. And that's possible because we can connect beyond the physical.
There are certain human beings that are right here. Could be my next door neighbor across the street. Very few that have this spirit, energy. Like today, I was talking to my driver, and he's like, "Mary, you owe me $68," and I'm like, "Well, you get this couch out of here, and then you'll get paid." And I go ghetto sometimes. It's New Jersey. I'm a native New Yorker, so I said to him, "Hey Jerry, why don't you follow me on the social media?" He says, "What's that?"
Oh, we just dropped you, dear. Thank you so much. Yes, we have covered 21, and we're going to bring Mary on just to have her just wrap up her story with her story of being Jersey native New Yorker. What's up?
So just to cover it up, I'm like, "Okay, Jerry, why don't you just, I'll give you my card and charge it." He said, "No, Mary, Friday is fine. I was just pulling you." I said, "Pulling me in what direction?" There's nothing going on. He's a young man, uh, son of a lieutenant. And he said, "Mary, don't worry about it. I was just like kidding with you." He goes, "Just bring it by Monday." I said, "I always bring it unless I'm dead." He goes, "Oh, you're gonna die." And And then he made a remark. He made this profound statement.
Give it to me.
He said, I wish we could go back in old ways. I said,
The old ways have never left us, and that's the beautiful thing, and that's what we're talking about. Is
and
like we still have that.
I said, son, you're giving me chills. He said, the bartering system. You give me rice, I give you wheat. You give me meat, I'll give you vegetables. And he goes, by the way, you're not the only historian around town.
Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you for coming back on and
Yeah.
sharing. I
And so
appreciate
I'm
that.
going to
Yeah.
let you go. We'll work on 21. I want
Yeah.
other.
We'll work. You keep working on it, and I'll send you an email a little later today.
Uh,
Oh, it's so beautiful to share, and it is great. Like that concept of like that. We wish that things were the way they used to be. Well, they are still there, and there is bartering, and those things all do exist, and we just have to ask to engage in that. If we don't ask to engage in it, we never will. We'll never get there. So this morning I picked 63, and I didn't even get a chance to finish reading that yet. And we had other guests, and that is perfectly fine. Love having guests, love sharing the Tao. We shared 15 with Catherine, 21 with Mary Kay, and here we are, 63. This is the one I picked today. The act without doing, work without effort. Think of the small as the large and the few as the many. Confront the difficult while it is still easy. Accomplish the great task by a series of small acts. The master never reaches for the great, thus she achieves greatness. When she runs into difficulty, she stops and gives herself to it. She doesn't cling to her own comfort, thus problems are no problem for her. So I know that I read 63 not long ago, so it is still resonating with me. And I want to go through this line by line because it is such a beautiful one, right? Act without doing. You don't have to do anything. Just be. Just be here, doing whatever it is you happen to be doing. But you're not going out of your way to do anything. You are acting, and you act without doing. And you work without effort. This is how I have really lived my life. I live my life by working without effort. Now, when I've had jobs, it was definitely an effort. But when I work, when I sit here and I talk to you, if you guys listened to the on recovery yesterday, I was working while I was talking with Deborah, and wow, that was beautiful. Like, if you guys heard that, if you didn't, go back to the recording, check it out. And when I do my workshops, and I have one coming up on Tuesday, and I want you guys to join if you can, I work without effort. It is so fun for me. It is just a blast when I get to do my work. My work just flows from me, and I'm able to listen and hear and just be cognizant of everything that's going around, and I'm twinkling because like I love the work that I do, and it is done without effort. Now, the marketing is effort, the telling people about it is effort, all of that is effort. And I need to listen to my buddy Catherine a little bit more and see how I can align myself more with my intuition so that stuff kind of falls into place. But really, working without effort is so beautiful. Think of the small as the large and the few as the many. When I was younger, I always said, like, I don't care if there's one person here or 1,000 people here. Like, I want to be able to approach, I want to be able to show up just the same. When I do my workshops, the last two workshops I did had very few people in them, but didn't matter. I showed up just as if there were 100 people in the room because I see the few as the many. Like, I'm recognizing the connections I'm making here on Wisdom are spreading around the world. And the things that I am doing for people here on Wisdom and with people here on Wisdom is affecting change in their lives. So that's going to affect even more people. Think of the small as the large. Rather than wait for 1,000 people to show up to say the right thing, you say the thing that needs to be said right now. Work without effort. Say it right now in front of the one person who's listening, and that person will change their life and thus change the life of everybody that they're connected to. Think of the small as the large and the few as the many. Wow, I'm starting to feel like a preacher all of a sudden, like, ruh, 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 ruh. But no, that's so beautiful. That's such a beautiful sort of element, right? Think of the small as the large and the few as the many. Do the littlest task with the most, concentration, with the most confidence, with the most like whether it's just making your bed, do that with everything you have right now. Get into your body and be present. Julie's going to join me. And yeah, we're gonna pause on 63 and see. Julie, how you doing, love?
Hello. I'm enjoying the 63. Is it
Yes,
63? I'm with you to enjoy the 63.
yes. How are you feeling? You worked all night.
Yeah, I've been asleep. I'm a little bit froggy throated because I've been asleep since, I've been asleep for about 6 hours.
Yeah,
So I've woken up to do Tao of the Day, and I've been listening and enjoying because whilst you're talking to other people with the numbers, Catherine and Mary, I've been enjoying the information as well.
good.
It's
Yeah,
been lovely. It's not all about the number for me, it's about listening,
yeah.
and that is great. So I'm
You know,
enjoying
and
53 with you.
you are like, I think this 63 really kind of resonates with a lot of the things that you're doing. You know, like act without doing, work without effort, like trying to just be present here now.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, I'm enjoying 63 very much.
think of
Yeah,
the small as the large and the few as the many. Like I know with you, it's like if it's one person that you can affect, like that means so much.
yeah, it does.
You know, and I've felt that even with me, right? Like like you're like, look, you've affected one person, you've affected one, and that means so much to me to know that. And
But
then
that,
I also love the idea that like even if I don't know that, I continue to go. I continue to push
yeah,
forward. And I continue to be and present myself as I am.
the other thing
Confront
is
the
that
difficult.
that person then ripple effects all the way through.
That's
So
right.
that's the many.
Yeah.
You don't
Conf-
see the many. You might not even see the one, but it happens anyway.
yeah.
That that's why I'm enjoying this very much.
Yeah. And that's the thing. You just have to have faith in that and faith in you and faith in your voice and faith in all of those things. It's like, whether it's God or the universe or you or what, I don't care what it is, but have faith that it is moving forward. And that and when you have faith that's moving forward, your thoughts are so much more stable because
Yes.
you trust that you're doing the right thing, even if it is sitting right now, even if it is just staying in bed for another hour.
Yay.
Like you're
Woohoo.
do you're doing the right thing. And if you think that like you have to control it or you have to make sure that you're directing your voice and you're directing your message, well, then you'll be restless forever.
Yeah.
But when you can step back and trust that what I've done, even though it was infinitely small, I can think of it as the many. I can think of it as the large. I can think of it as the masses because I know I am putting myself in the right place.
Yeah. That is it. That's exactly it. Is I know this is right for now. I will be glad of this moment in 3 hours when I'm running around doing my job, looking after people and giving of myself. I will be glad that I spent that moment in bed because that was the right thing to do. That
Right.
felt completely correct. It had a purpose, even if I don't know what that purpose is.
Mm. So
That,
important.
yeah,
Trust, right?
yeah,
And then here we have the next line is confront the difficult while it is still easy. This is like, I mean, we were talking to your daughter, like you have to do that as soon as it comes up, because if you
yeah,
hide, the longer it goes on, the harder it's going to become.
absolutely. What a gem that line is,
Yeah.
because I had a conversation with my daughter in a way that wasn't confrontational. I had a conversation with her that was from her viewpoint, so she could connect with it rather than battling against it. So that was just amazing. That's worked so well.
I'm
Yeah.
so glad. That's
Yeah.
beautiful. And just let's give her a bunch of credit as well for being able
Yeah.
to confront the difficult while it was still easy. Because
Yeah.
she didn't, just because you decided to approach the conversation from a certain angle doesn't mean that she's willing to have the conversation at all.
She listened.
That's difficult.
Thank you for that. Yeah.
Yeah, that is so difficult. It's difficult to listen, and it's difficult to take into consideration other people, especially when things may be difficult for you.
Yeah. Yes.
And you know, this next line is very intriguing because of the word the. So what we have is accomplish the great task by a series of small acts. You know, it's not saying accomplish a great task. It's saying accomplish the great task. And when I think of the great task, I think of life.
I agree.
Accomplish life by a series of small acts. You accomplish it. You know, it is like everything you do is an accomplishment.
Living is even a better
Living is an
thing.
accomplishment, right?
Yeah.
Like, and death is part of that accomplishment as well. So like, no, like I always want to make sure that, like we say this, suicide is an option for people.
It is.
And if they take it, that is a scary thing that they had to face. And I am sorry for anybody who had to face that, but you are loved.
Yes.
And, so many people who have taken their life don't feel loved. And I'm just saying that to, the people that, are contemplating that, or even have dealt with people, or any energy that is listening that has dealt with that in a past life or anything. Like, you are loved, and I'm sorry that it didn't feel that way. But like this, when we say accomplish a great act, a great task, that life, even if that life ended in suicide, that was a great task.
Yeah. It still was. It
Yes.
still is.
Yes,
It
absolutely,
still
absolutely.
will be, because
Yes.
it moves within the people that are still here,
Mm-hmm.
within the memories,
Yes.
within the thought processes, because these people give, whether
Mm.
they're here now or they give automatically without even knowing that they are doing it. They
Yeah.
give, and that's the gift, that's the life, that's the task,
Yes.
and they've done
And
it.
anytime I start talking about life and being a great task or anything, it just comes up to me that, like, that's not to say that suicide's not an option, or that suicide was a bad choice. It's
Yeah,
just to say, like, that at all. Like, I
it
love
was
you
a
for your choice.
choice. The
Yes.
choice. That's
Yeah,
it.
that's right. And you've accomplished that. And I am grateful for having you have had accomplished that.
Yeah.
The master never reaches for the great. So this is interesting. Accomplish the great task by a series of small acts. The master never reaches for the great.
Yeah.
Thus, she achieves greatness. That's interesting. The
It
master
is.
never reaches for the great. So thus she achieves greatness.
That's it.
That's it. You
That's
don't
a
like
deep
like
one. A
you
deep
know
one, that.
like as you kind of go about your work in promoting and earning for this trip, you know, you are you are humble in the face of it.
Yeah.
And you're going to achieve greatness by having gone through this, even if none of your plans pan out the way you think they're going to.
Correct. Correct. That's
The
the joy. That's the joy of it. The joy
Right.
is I do not know. It's
But
out
there
there.
is but the fact that you're pushing yourself to do this and moving into this direction, you are going to achieve greatness no matter what it looks like.
Yeah.
Even if you never ride your bike one block.
It's great, isn't it?
Right? There is
Yeah.
greatness in the experience that you are here doing, because you're not reaching for this great. You're not reaching to be, like
It's
I don't know.
not about me.
Yeah, no, it's
That's it.
about the experience that you're having
Yeah.
and sharing that.
Yes. Yeah.
When she runs into a difficulty, she stops and gives herself to it. Tell me about how you have done that recently.
Well, the difficulty is my attitude, my thought processes. So when I see a difficulty, i.e., I'm going into this thing, I've got this plan, and the difficulties are how am I going to fund it? How am I going to get all that equipment? How am I going to get rid of all the detritus that it has to be moved out of the way? How? And they're all difficulties. They're all difficulties. But I know that they will happen. I just know they will happen. Like Catherine says, it's an intuition thing. It will happen. The time will come for doing each task, to look round it. When somebody difficulties are great when you've got friends and you've got people around you, because people are very quick to point out a difficulty, but when they point it out, it gives you a chance to give it attention. You know,
Yeah,
it gives you a
you can
chance to
give
give.
yourself to it.
Yes, so you give it attention.
Yeah.
When you give it attention, you start to give it attention from all angles, not just from your angle, from your why is it difficult for me, why do I find this difficult. Other people will talk to you and you'll start to see it from different places. How can you use that difficulty to gain an experience from? How can you use that difficulty or that issue to glean tools for future, for when something difficult happens again, you can use those attributes and those skills to make it not so difficult. I
Yeah,
think it's difficult in a way. Yeah.
I
It's
look at this
difficult
and
in
I say,
teaching.
like, how can you approach a difficulty with curiosity rather than
Correct.
judgment or fear?
Yeah. You're making it difficult really by thinking of it as difficult. That
Right.
was pretty much what I was trying to. Yeah, you
Yeah.
helped me there. See, you've
And
given me a tool.
you can give yourself to it. Like, this is it. This is what is in front of me at this moment, and I can give myself to it, and I don't have to
Judge it.
judge it or push it away.
Yeah.
It's here. I can embrace it. Let's walk together.
Yeah.
Let's get to know each other.
Yeah.
She doesn't cling to her own comfort, and I think both you and I probably have given up our comfort for our freedom quite a bit.
Yeah.
And thus problems are no problem for her. She doesn't cling to her own comfort, thus problems are no problem for her.
Yeah, just go out there and experience it, really.
Yeah, it's not a problem.
No.
It's just what is. Because you know what? Like, you're uncomfortable right now. It's raining and you got nowhere to go. And she's like, well, what do I want to take care of first? Let me just step into this restaurant and have a conversation with somebody and see what I can do.
Yeah, for me, it would be let me go into this restaurant and use the toilets while the rain goes away.
Well,
And fill up the water flask while I'm there.
that's right. That's right.
But
It's
yeah,
it, but that's the thing. Like, do you see your problem as a problem, or do you see it as a challenge or something
or
that
an
you can approach?
opportunity. An opportunity.
Yes,
That's
an
another way of
opportunity to take a wee.
yeah. And use a flushy loo. Woohoo!
Yes, being on a boat, that's work, man.
It is. It's
It is.
lovely though. It's lovely. It's lovely.
Yes. Don't cling to your comfort, dear. That's just, and no problem will be a problem for you.
That's
That's
right.
awesome. Yes, that's beautiful. 63 is a gorgeous one, and one that I've only visited a couple times. So I'm really
Well, I
glad to
love
have
it.
joined it
I
with
love
you.
it.
I
Yeah.
will I'll send you the text on WhatsApp so you have it.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right. Thank you so much, Julie. Oh, it's so nice to have you guys with me for the Tao of the day and to be sharing the Tao with you. If you guys are interested in, Julie's going to be joining me on this Tuesday. If anybody is interested in joining me for a Recover Yourself workshop, so much of the stuff that we talk about here really has been honed into what my workshop is, and it helps you recover yourself, as the title suggests. It was designed for people in the drug and alcohol treatment world so that they can help fight burnout and fatigue, but you can help fight burnout and fatigue in your life, frustrations and other things like that, by going through my workshop, my Recover Yourself workshop. I have a coupon code on my Eventbrite ticket sales for $30 off. So for and the coupon code is Wisdom, capital WISDOM. If you are interested in joining me for my workshop, please reach out. Go to my website or check out my my link tree, which is linktree linktr.ee/Martin John, and there are links there as well. My website, you can find me here on Wisdom wherever you're at. So join me, please, for the Recover Yourself workshop. I am looking forward to it. There's also a donation ticket. So if $10 US is too much, no big deal. Just leave a donation. Anything will do, and you'll have a ticket. And I'm looking forward to sharing the Recover Yourself method with each and every one of you. Thank you so much. I appreciate each and every one of you for all that you do. Catherine, Mary, and Julie, thank you for joining me on Tao of the Day today. And I look forward to another day. So until next time, keep recovering yourself.